think that early pressure still didn't matter. The Sandwraith was able to prevail in the end. Insania, as a team, they've been shown they're not afraid to try different things. I mean, almost every single game we look at them, we see at least one pick that's a little bit out of the norm. From Succubus and Nomad in the previous game, and even in the past when they were playing through a HoN tournament, where we saw them highlighted making picks work against top teams, even such as Riftwalker and Defiler. So. Yeah. Not afraid to push the boundaries. He even foreshadowed a little bit the rise of the Predator, saying he thought he'd be a phenomenal hero for the more mid-game oriented carry strats, as he's very powerful against those lineups, especially they rely on those spell combos, or you see the Pyromancer Pebbles, etc. in laning, and he could be thriving there. So curious to see what they're able to bring to the table. So meanwhile, in the locking, we see that Keeper Tempest rivalry going on, so expect to see both those heroes picked up, although don't expect Keeper the Forest to really make an appearance in the jungle. And if other junglers are banned out, maybe we'll see once again a jungle-less strat on one of these sides. We'll have to see. Warbeast was already addressed. Yeah. Besides that, Parasite also banned out, so that's going to be very interesting to see. I do not like the jungle Keeper. I do not like the passive jungles. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Otherwise, Master of Arms taken out, Engineering the Lock Bull. 4 is available. Let's take a look at other heroes that are actually on the board, though. Wild Soul, what's his presence? Taken out. Pyromancer Torturer, though, do make an appearance, as well as Bubbles.
Yep, there's Pyromancer. Yeah, starting off strong with the, well, usually haven't seen more of that support role lately with the Pyromancer, but every now and then he does pop up to be more of the farm-focused.
Yeah.
He can definitely play that role just fine, too, so we'll see what IG ends up using him with here, but again, the Bubbles, the Torturer, definitely heroes that we're eyeing here. Magnus, always a fan favorite, and, well, B-Kid's favorite, as he has appropriately been titled the Swagmas, of course. And understandably so. So we'll see what they go with. Obviously, the Sandwraith ban. We just got finished watching Team USA take on Locomotives and defeat them pretty handily, and Sandwraith definitely a big part of that. So IG doesn't want to have to deal with Sandwraith this game, taking him out. So we'll see what carry presence we have instead coming out here. Again, the right click on the Night Hand. You mentioned that the last game. Draw from Midor, either just going with the troll route, or you
it's
really
not entirely
the
troll.
hero.
I mean, yeah, he's not. I just says Night Out Odes, whether they'll actually pick it or not, or go with another carry. Before you really start seeing him picked up, it would take a team to actually pick him up and show that he can absolutely dominate. There are a lot of ways, especially in competitive play, with anti-invis, although that doesn't entirely counter Nighthound. Honestly, especially with the HoN Tour going along, do not expect to see that hero undrafted. I'm going to say it now, whether it actually succeeds or not, but definitely expect to see teams experimenting with him and trying to run him.
Yeah. Bubbles Predator picked up here. You just even referring to the Predator. Now, the idea that they were guessing or predicting that we're going to start seeing him more, and obviously the Runic Shift patch had a lot to do with that, specifically with the Elder Parasite introduction, as well as the hero that changes that he got. So.
It's a great carry when you're trying to, once I said, when you're trying to fight those spell combinations. You go up against a hero like Pyromancer, etc. They're trying to lock you down and kill you. If you're able to jump on someone like Pyro, they don't have their, tablets yet. They can't really get away from you in that early game. You're able to shut him down before he can even get his ulti off on a good target. His Predator's up in front. He has the magic immunity on. Everyone else is sort of positioned back, and Pyromancer can't quite reach him. All of a sudden, you're taking a hero out of the fight and doing a great job of it while you're at it. So I'd say that Predator, while some people underrate him, I think if you are applying that early pressure and you're able to give him that early farm, he is a solid hero. Actually, I would say people might even. I've heard like some people say Predator's not worthwhile, and then in response, competitors, meanwhile, in the response, a lot of the public makes it like, oh, Predator is balanced, spamming it. So there's sort of two ends of the table. I do think Predator, in the end, is a good hero.
Yeah. Well, we did see that Arachna pickup yesterday. I'm actually blanking on the specific team that did it, but we saw the Arachna pickup to kind of counter, in the sense that Predator with the kite factor.
But,
didn't work out in the end, but the idea was definitely there. Moon Queen, we're going to see here from IG's Internet Gangsters going back to the Moon Queen hard carry. Still a very, very dangerous hard carry. Obviously, again, her laning presence did take that nerf, but outside of it, the end game still by all means just fine for it, and pretty much the same even. So. Empath is going to be the final pick on the other hand for Team USA over here. So how about that? Going with Empath as a supportive choice. Tempest that first pick.
Yeah. I was going to say Moon Queen can still be run aggressively if you have the right surrounding cast and you're going against the right lineup. Going against a Predator would be hard, though. And then you go for a Tempest here, so I'm inclined to believe they will be running a more conventional lane setup. They're trying to give the early steroid farm to the Moon Queen. Maybe they'll run a solo mid and allow another hero to box them out. We'll have to see. Keeper of the Forest being picked up here. does not necessarily mean it's going to be a suicide keeper. I would shy away from the thoughts that would be a jungle keeper, but let's take a look at the lanes here. We have Predator with the empath support. We got a Fade that needs the lane. We got a Bubble that needs the lane. So in a game like this, actually looks like it might be, and they'll have to pay extra careful attention to make that work. Expect a solo mid Fade, though, potentially. Just trying to cut it out while empath, well, empath doesn't need to buy Predator Room, but we'll have to see how he does it. You know, Fade Empath isn't the worst of lanes, but going against a Pebbles Burst combination might be tough. So you might see Fade just sort of holding it out in mid, trying to pick up farm, and, well, they really box out the suicide.
Yeah. IG finishing strong, of course, with their final pick. They get to go with Pebbles as far as things finishing off for them. And we're looking at their lineup. Definitely came together very nicely as well. As you look at the lanes and everything, they're going to be running the Jungle Tempest, of course. So, yeah, I like an IG's lineup quite a bit, actually.
I've got to say, if you are going to run a passive jungler, though, actually, as long as you run that safe lane top, it does give you more options. I hate the passive jungler when you're trying to run dual lane mid, because then you're just going to get collapsed on by the aggressive jungler, and your dual lane mid will fail. That's the setting up for disaster. But if they do run like something more like that Fade solo, along with the empath pred top, or at least for most of the time, I think what's interesting here to you? I saw you were stroking your chin for a bit there. And
well, Bubbles is heading top initially. I don't know if that's just simply to, you know, kind of scout them out or whatnot, but that might actually give us some information here as far as what could be happening. Maybe a little bit of a mix-up. Maybe not, though.
Predator's running top as well.
Yeah.
Wouldn't read too much into it yet.
Anyways. So, I'm not sure what's going to happen there. And you know what? This is a bummer.
What's that?
I have this bug again.
Do you?
I do.
But you like to draw boxes anyway, make boxes. Can't you just quit HoN and reopen, though, and it'll be fine?
No, unfortunately. I think I've tried that before. I mean,
when you actually shut down the entire client?
Yeah. It stays. Well, I mean, we got the chance here. Actually, Payman did just step out, so I have to.
Can't show your secret lobby.
Can't do that. Can't do that. So once he gets back, we'll go ahead and hopefully try to get that fixed real quickly.
Photos.
Anywho, so obviously, dang it, I forgot to check too what the other match is currently going on
and how they played out.
Oh no, the other match currently taking place with this one. It was supposed to be.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Too Much Sugar is playing versus Justice League right now on the other side of things in Group A.
Yeah.
And Too Much Sugar actually featuring Fitsky today.
Okay.
How about that?
Playing in place of, looks like Tankafat.
Plays a Tankafat, yeah.
Playing for them yesterday, so.
I would like to see Fitsky. I know he has a home right now, but I think he's just filling in because I know he was playing with Haxer, and I think it was Zapro over there as well, among some other players, Les QQ and crew, so. Be curious to follow Fitsky's progress and see what he does in the scene. Always a great player. And he's actually rocking that DWI tag again. I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Some Heroes of New Earth history for you all.
That is old school stuff right there. Do you mind checking real quick to see what the other match is?
Yeah, I can go check right now, actually. Yeah. What's the best way to do this here?
HoNcast.com.
HoNcast.com.
Would actually have it. Let's see what the other match. The first article in the news. Nope, to the right.
Yeah.
Right there.
Sorry.
Scroll down. Okay, there you
go.
go.
Okay, duh, the group's
VDT versus Locomotives. Okay, that's another matchup. VDT. So that's, yeah, I was all over the place. Anyway, so VDT, they did defeat their IG earlier, so they're 1-0 actually. It looks like, in Locomotives. Going into that 0-1 themselves, coming off their loss.
Yeah.
The Team USA. So that's the other match going over on Team Seeking. Okay, Payman is back. I need to restart my client, so once I get the chance here.
Hey man, thinks he can just go wherever he wants all.
Yeah, just
willy-nilly.
Yeah, let's go to us real quickly here.
All right. Oh, let me.
Oh, those cups all over the place.
Yeah, our water cups. I gotta keep that.
All right, gonna go back to us real quickly. All right, there we go.
Bam, we're here. We're here.
All right, let me.
Because he has some issue with the client. It'll be about a second.
Issue.
Why do you have to be so angry at him?
Seriously. No, I'm not angry at you.
He keeps talking to us.
He's talking to us.
We have to reply because otherwise
it.
It's weird. But then it just sounds like we're talking to
you guys.
I'm live now, but I have not said a thing to you guys. You guys make up so much stuff.
Is he alive now? He's probably not even live now. He's trolling us even now. This is... Get out of my head!
It's all over the place, man.
If you want to really screw with people, become a producer.
There you go. That's so true.
That's
so true.
#1 way. It doesn't help that he's just a huge troll outside of in real life. I don't think he said one serious thing to me the entire time I've known him.
Aww.
How do I know that's serious? You haven't said...
It has to be.
He just said
he's so genuine.
Okay, anyway.
Enjoying your Jimmy Johns over there?
I'm just going to assume he's not talking to you guys right now. I'm losing my mind. He failed on me about 5 times as well.
I still have it. I still have that bug. Even with the full restart. That's so crazy how that happens. And I actually, let me reinstall the game real quickly, guys.
If you don't mind.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, just gonna...
I forget what the
Breaky, why don't you just, you know the command, Breaky. Why don't you just press V?
Just press V. Shut up.
It'll fix it all. Press V, man.
Oh my gosh.
Takes care of everything. Guys, make sure you let Breaky know as well. He doesn't believe me, so if you could just let him know to press V and take care of everything.
It's locked. I'm trying to get it. Trying to get that information on that, so at least we're not missing anything, so that's the good thing. It is still in the pause, unfortunately. So having fun trying to figure this out in the meantime. As far as what the command, I know somebody told me.
Dangerous Dan is the man. He probably knows everything. Why don't you try asking him? He's probably online.
He is. I'm asking him, so we'll see if Dangerous Dan can come through here. I'm trying to remember who told me the last time. Oh, none of these guys. No. Anyways, I can deal with it for this game, but hopefully.
For you guys that don't know, we have the old temp that is Trelf.
Yes.
In the previous match, but just to make it clear that it's not a 2000 MMR Tempest player that came out of nowhere. It is Trelf. When I heard he likes to actually pick Tempest and then repick it at the 1 second mark on this account to prevent the old TMM Tempest abuse. So I actually think it's great. I think it's great. I do not like fighting Tempest and TMM myself, so
yeah,
always like to see people fighting against it, fighting the good fight.
God, it's frustrating. I really wish I knew that command.
Yeah, probably like buried in some log somewhere.
Yeah, I was trying to look for it, but
I mean,
can't find it.
We could probably just go ahead with it. And, right?
Well, I gotta know. We're pretty much. I mean, again, we're not missing anything here, so it's not like they're waiting on us.
Oh, they're not. Oh, they're not waiting.
No, they've been waiting on themselves.
Oh,
so.
well. I thought we were sitting here holding up the show. I don't even show so much I know.
No, if we were holding this up, then I would have said go a long time ago. But
the team's just on pause.
Okay,
so
it looks like they're going to go now. Okay, so here we go. Unfortunately, I will have to deal with that issue for now. Okay. Payman's leaving us again. So if something breaks, we're screwed. Okay, so into this game we go. Again, looking forward to seeing how this starts here. Like I said, Bubbles is headed towards the top initially, but probably doesn't mean too much as far as what we should expect to see. We got Pyromancer, Sender playing the Pyromancer. Of course, going to be playing the support Pyro here. Oh, we placed a ward aside right as Peter Pan Dam just placed one himself, and there goes the counter ward immediately. And I assume it's... Oh, well, it's this one, yeah. But anyways, it is in range, and yeah, he counters the ward as the game... The horn hasn't even blown yet, so obviously a big start right there. Coming out for Team USA, taking away some good vision. Chance for Internet Gangsters off the bat.
Excellent play there.
Ward of Rev is placed down, however.
So taking a look at the lanes. You can see the quick deny for the Magma's top, assisting his suicide ability. That we'd ever want him to suicide. Pyro Pebbles lane in the middle. Against a fade, got to be careful.
Yeah.
If you really either one of the stuns, I mean, Pyromancer's stun, especially playing up front, can be devastating as well if he connects it. Pretty much surely an instant kill with all that front load burst. Otherwise, Moon Queen going up against a Bubbles here. Bubbles can actually do. I don't remember back in the day, but I remember when you guys were casting beforehand. A point was even made that Bubbles can do quite well against a Moon Queen 1v1. That was before Moon Queen had her early presence reduced. So going up against here, I'm expecting Zai to at least perform decently here against the Moon Queen.
Yeah.
And a little bit of regen, but matched on both sides, so that's not going to be an issue. 6 treaters, 1 health pot. Important play.
Fuzi going around right here. He actually places a ward of sight right next to the pole camp, and so he's going to try to block it here. Now, he was spotted doing that, and actually going to be taking a lot of pressure here as a result of going all the way into the jungle.
Look at that, too.
Drops to half life. So, yeah, very risky play, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's countered. In fact, here comes a rev ward already on the courier, so Peter Van Dam very, very aware that that was happening. And
it's not even going to really do anything at that point. It's
not even blocking in the end.
It's forcing him to block. It takes away 50 gold from him, I guess, but also wastes a ward of sight. Still, noble attempt. Fuzi. Saw right there he was resistant to use the stun to get away. He needs to keep. He doesn't have the biggest mana pool early on. Wants to have that in case he really desperately needs it. Because they know if his stun mana is down, he was level 1 at the time, they could reapply pressure and maybe get a kill. So
yeah. You see Fade is being boxed out quite a bit there in the middle lane, so B-Kid, as expected, going to have some trouble there. Cinder doing a good job of that. Pebbles opening up some free farm for Storyfooter on the Pebbles. Have a good time himself. Look at this bottom lane all the way already, by the way. Moon Queen heavily, heavily pressuring that bottom tower here.
Yeah.
Actually putting some good damage into it, so.
Quite a bit, but now that the lane is a bit more neutralized, I don't expect to see that pressure anymore. Moon Queen actually getting the upper hand on the harass, though, thanks to the creep wave especially. And Bubbles falling behind in that capacity. Moon Queen does not have the range to harass without using that Moonbeam, though, and mana cost 120 now at all levels.
Yeah.
So she went out to go Lunar Glow, level 2. Level 3 just for the extra creep control. Maybe see some harass later on. The pressure being applied with the creep wave.
Definitely some good timing right there. Coming out from Bubbles. Oh, okay, apparently we do have the code. Okay, what is it?
I mean, we have a little bit of time here with the lanes are still neutral. I'll keep my eye on mid where a kill might happen.
Yeah, so let me know. Okay, so what is it? CG. Lock. That's right. You're wrong. You're wrong. I know it was something
CG
like that.
_ lock camera game all in one thing. Like this. Like this.
Yeah, that's what I did. CG lock camera. Lock
game
camera,
fall, and then also CG
false.
_ lock camera falls.
Oh, that's lock camera game.
Yeah, you have to do.
Aha!
Wow.
There we go. There we go.
Freedom.
We got it. Everything is okay.
I actually forgot to keep my eye for a second there while I was trying to help you with that too. So thankfully, no kills.
Okay. Well,
I'm actually going to get it tattooed on my chest. That way, every time you need it.
Boy, you always check. Okay, yeah, that's right. Or I could have just pressed V. What am I thinking?
Why didn't you just press
V,
Breaky? It's that easy.
God, I should have told myself that.
Breaky needs to press V. Thank you, chat, for the 10.
Oh, the advice. If I just pressed V, I would have known.
There's some people out there that might actually think that's the solution. That's the scary part.
I think by now it's clear that it's just a troll.
Not everyone's there for every little bit of inside humor we have, though.
Okay, okay.
Uh-oh, Pyromancer boxing out the bubbles. He does have Shell Surf up, though.
Yes, and there's... Oh, the takeover!
The timing! The timing!
He mistimed it. I think he might still be fine with
the Moonbeam. He doesn't have mana for 4. Is he going to go for it? I would do it.
Oh, no.
Who cares at this point? Go YOLO.
Oh, no. Go YOLO indeed. Bubbles, Zai's in some trouble. Doesn't have any mana himself. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, Bloodlust kill coming out.
What are you doing, Moonbeam? Get in there!
Can he actually get
All you have to do is get in there.
Dies. Sender actually died in the process to the tower. There, no! He didn't get it off! Look at this side juking!
Use your side
juking! Are you kidding me? Oh no, Moon Queen's gonna fall!
Are you kidding me? I don't know about that one.
Oh no! What
I'd have to
just
see it
happened?
from Moon Queen's perspective. I know he had the mana.
What
he got the auto attack off. Did he have...
He kept on doing the animation, you could tell, but the Fate of Black was coming into play.
Yeah, it must have been some...
Zai making some big escape right there.
I feel like if he had the Moonbeam selected and was repeatedly clicking into Fog, he might be. I would have to go back and look at it from Moon Queen's perspective.
Yeah.
Either way, all credit to Zai there. Looked like initially he wasn't really getting in there. You know, he was kind of like half footsying into the woods, and bought Zai the time he needed. An Empath rotating with the support, and all of a sudden, there's a disaster, man.
Again, Sender actually died during all that too. He died to the tower, just simply tanking it while Moonku was diving right there.
That was unnecessary though.
And yeah, as well as the creep wave, I'm sure. So, man, talk about just a complete slap in the face right there for internet
Sender
gangsters.
died. Where do you? Oh yeah, did.
Yeah,
okay,
he died to the tower.
Hellborn, yeah. I was like, the score's 1-1, but you know, it was just completely the Hellborn claiming it. It's not the biggest deal there. But all of a sudden, Zai, level 6 now, for a level 5 Moon Queen. That could not have gone any worse.
Oh, yeah, 100%. So now overall, it's kind of funny even after that, the stats overall still are in favor of IG, actually. It's all beautiful wall off right there from Peter. Going to easily get in that illusion rune, so Pebbles was headed up there with the bottle, but obviously not able to get it himself. Well played. Top tower in the meantime. Keeper of the Forest going to the lane with Tralf playing the Predator. Predator, by the way, going Alchemist Bones first item. So obviously having a great start with his farm. Going to apply some pressure to the tower now.
This is a matchup that we saw all the time before the patches really came to play that made Moon Queen a little bit weaker and Predator stronger. A matchup we always used to see all the time in the SEA scene, where we'd see that Predator versus Moon Queen face off as the two major carries, so a little bit of a throwback there to the past few months. And, well, of course, the matchups have changed since then due to item shifts, and as well as heroes receiving balance changes. So perhaps a little bit better now.
Empath, a little bit of trouble right here. She's going to be stunned on, but actually Eruption being handled by Fuzi. Then it's going to go off right there. Look at the kill on Empath.
Not even having the dust. Yeah. What a manly play coming out from Fuzi.
That was very manly. And on top of that, they're going to deny this tower after that push was happening. Fuzi!
What a warrior-esque play, manly, womanly, whatever you want to call it. It was a bold play.
Mana, big time. Oh, meanwhile, the bottom lane, Zai actually gets sniped out by Xibe there. As he tried to shell surf away, it looks like he was putting out some counter pressure, but did not.
Big plays horn is going off.
Yeah, it is indeed. A lot of back and forth here between these two teams.
Big plays horn, yeah. It's early game momentum now. Not the first time we've seen Team USA thrown at the back foot, though, and recover. Previous series, you got to remember, they were down quite a bit early game to Locomotives before eventually claiming their heads.
Yeah, a lot of that had to do with the Sand Wraith in that game, you know, just buying enough time, and also the Wild Soul, actually. But, you know, in this game, you got a Predator. Control 340 gold per minute with the Alchemist Bones first, so it's definitely skewing his farm quite a bit in his favor because of that. So that continues to progress. Keeper of the Forest, he assisted on pushing the top lane, eventually got denied, though. Still, the tower was killed, as meanwhile, Pyromancer might be in some trouble. Nope, Faye was running in. He is level 6. But not able to find the angle.
Right.
And actually go for a kill right there.
So, despite the suicide eventually outliving the Moon Queen, to see everything going in their favor. I wonder if the Moon Queen, when he was chasing the bubbles, if he had V, he might have actually been able to keep track of him better.
He just hit V.
That's the solution.
That's the answer.
Look here, though. Moon Queen stalking. Gets that early Moonbeam off, but nothing to actually combo off. It's just applying that pressure. Now the Intelligent Steam Boots, though, casted approximately 10 times. Let's see how many times she can't get 70 mana, so actually probably 8 times almost. Porting out 6 times, but counting some regen almost 8 times. Switching to those imp boots.
See middle lane in the meantime, putting some pressure. Keeper of the Forest does have a root. Yes, he just has enough mana for it. Going to come into the middle lane, and it will force off Internet Gangsters as far as aggressively pushing it. It's not going to be in deny range just yet, so good little push there from Internet Gangsters, at least buying some time and getting some resources to be used to defend that middle lane. Fade, though, making her way towards the bottom lane, and actually, her and Bubbles can definitely set up a kill right here, especially with the Kelp field ready to go. But look at that, Moon Queen already falling back. She's going to the tower, or excuse me, going to the jungle. She's falling back from the tower. And just going to insist on farming in here for the time being, so keeping her alive for now.
Steam Boots acquired. That's the cool thing about Predator, too. We talked about how he's nice against some of these early presence teams. Like this strong spell combo of Magma Spyro that we see here. But he's able to do it while actually picking up Alchemist Bones without feeling... A lot of heroes that pick up Alchemist Bones, it's a vulnerability on Predator due to the fact that he benefits quite well with attack speed, scales quite well with attack speed. He doesn't actually miss a beat while going for that hard farm route. He's still able to get down and dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely works for him there. Pebbles will already with the portal key, just over 10 minutes in, so Story Footer. He's continuing to have a great start, and actually is tops in the game at farm. Again, no surprise there, especially with that portal key purchase. That on top of the Grave Locket and boots, excuse me. Choosing not to go the bottle, actually, with that said. And currently, Cinder has 0 items on him, by the way. Oh, the jump attempt right off the bat. Fade will fall, so the jump definitely working right there. You see Peter Pan Dam doing what he can. He's going to try to get the stun, but Pebble's doing a good job of actually staying close to it, but it's not going to be enough in the end. And Kelfield comes out. There's a shell shot. The song on the same route, even going to be used as a Story Footer. Will eventually fall. Good attempt to try to stay alive right there. Tamison is going to pull in Pebbles with the ultimate, and Zai will fall on top of that, so a big couple of kills coming up for either side. And now the middle tower push still going to happen in favor of Internet Gangsters. Can they actually make this work is the question. Oh! Very nice deny.
Empath. That timing.
Yeah.
That timing. Holy crap.
Perfect timing on Peter Pan Dam's part, and sure enough,
yeah,
does deny the tower there. So at least a little bit of a victory there at the end.
B-Kid going back to the old Striders mid-hero route. It's been a while, you know, once it is a throwback to the start of the HoN Tour season, the previous HoN Tour season, where Complexity was known for dominating with such strategies.
Yeah.
And now that the shifts to the game have supported the playstyle a bit more, maybe we'll see it.
Yeah, Fade's definitely a great candidate for that as well. Really just running around very fast, especially in that invis. Being able to set up those kills quicker.
Not to mention the buff to Striders, where now it converts to post haste, so you actually have a little bit of a endgame itemization path now too that's sort of built in and nice.
Yeah, true.
Favors that ganking route. Especially you can port to Keeper minions, you can port to a Parasite, you know, Ophelia, oh god, it's wonderful with War Beast. I don't know if you've seen it, but those Invis War Beast wolves, they stay Invis while you're post hasting to them.
Yeah.
You're literally phasing out of nowhere to some of these enemies, and I've been on the receiving end. Story Fighter there, finding the angle of the gank, picking off Zai there at the tower. He can do nothing about it with that snap portal key and well, quick tower push. And actually, you know, even better, sure, Story Fighter got the kill. Zippe gets to the tower. Both share gold for both, and they're both happy.
Yeah, that was just perfect timing. Great communication between the two. By the way, Magnus at the top lane is actually in a little bit of trouble. He's having to use a steam bath right here. He's going to sit in it, knowing Predator can't do anything by himself at least.
Almost like Predator, get dust.
Yeah.
At this point, have someone buy him dust. Kind of feels like he needs it.
He's going to be
keeps
fine.
Apply this Magnus, unable to seal it on his own.
But yeah, at the bottom, that was just Moonbeam on top of the combo from Pebbles, exactly on one another, and absolutely nothing Bubbles could have done. So, but speaking of going back to Predator once again, now over 400 gold per minute. He has a B-star picked up here, on its way to perhaps that other Parasite. As far as his next item in line now, on top of the Steam Boots Alchemist Bones here. Again, Fade still looking for any opportunity. B-Kid has basically no farm to work with. He's 0-2. He's only killed 12 creeps in total. He's barely farming 100 gold per minute, but you know that's not the biggest steal in the world. If they can have him set up some kills for them, then that's what matters in the end. It's just a matter of when that could take place. Moon Queen finishing her Whispering Helm. She's definitely coming along pretty nicely, and actually she just took over a Minotaur with that. Gonna start using that, I'm sure, for some assistance. Top one in the meantime. Predator actually being caught. Could use a Stone Hide. Select my hit. Empath, though. Empath will fall. She can't use the S1. In jumps Tempest as well. He doesn't have his element to avoid just yet. It's not gonna matter, though. Predator goes down. Big Cutfield coming up, but do they have enough themselves? In comes the Keeper of the Forest Rune. Pyromancer will fall in the process, but again, do they have enough power right here? Predator fights back, actually. Magnus eruption, and it is gonna go off right there. Predator will with the Stone Hide, mitigating basically all the damage. Nice Stalagmites right there for Predator. In jumps Tempest, has an hold, but not enough mana for it. If he had the mana, that could have been big right there. Might not matter in the end. Predator will fall as Moon Queen joins the party at the last second, and Internet Gangsters absolutely winning that fight. And now they're going to push full force here at the top tower.
Those stuns, very, very well timed by Foos. You almost wonder if Predator needed a little bit of a... it seemed like if he had an extra second of duration there for his Stone Hide, maybe even without the extra damage, might have been enough. It's hard to say. Definitely need that presence, though. I forget who he saved initially. The Magma stunned him to save. Was it someone was really
Pebbles.
low? Pebbles. Then he got low in response, and then everyone was saving each other left and right that fight on the Legion side. And that's actually really effective. Whenever you're able to save a teammate that gets dropped down to 100, 200 health, better than absolutely crushing. Because you have to look at it this way: the team is investing so much time, all of their resources to try to bring a hero down. If you're then able to use their health to the fullest, and let them survive, it works out beautifully. I mean, they're essentially playing main tank for the team at that point. Spells are wasted, and then you have a new front line with full health to sort of take the battle. So that was played out perfectly by IG. Fortunately, in a game like this, you know, there's... Sorry, go on.
Well, no, I mean, it's not only do they have the big, I think it's kind of where you're getting at, where they have a big start, but they also have a Moon Queen carry that was also having a great time. So things are really just working together here for IG. And no doubt, if you're Team USA, you're looking at this Predator being played by Tralf and hoping that he's going to be enough. I mean, they do have a Predator. They have an Empath combo on top of that. They do got the Keeper to fight against that Tempest. So this is a solid lineup themselves for sure. I mean, Bubbles brings great team fight presence, gank potential. Meanwhile, though, Empath is going to be picked off again. Magma's picking out that portal key recently, and he's also assisting now with Pebbles, to get kills. And you see the bottom tower, well, actually Zai getting taken out down here as Moon Queen and Tempest collapse on him. So
yeah,
just continuing more and more onslaught here.
It's one of those games, those time Alchemist Bones maybe not leaving you vulnerability, but you almost wonder if, because they were so close to killing Heroes so many times in that fight, if maybe something like a rushed Elder Parasite would have served him better this game.
Yeah.
Just for that extra boost speed and attack speed earlier on and maybe clinching that kill.
Big opening right here. Keeper Root going to be used as well, but not nearly enough damage. Although Predator does leap in, so maybe they do actually. Tempest in some trouble. He does not have mana for anything else. He's going to be taken out. Down goes Fate in the meantime, and actually Moon Queen, we're using that Moon Finale, spreading a lot of the damage right there. Eruption going off as well. Predator leaps in, gets a kill on a Moon Queen. He's about half-life. Magma stuns in. Here comes Pyromancer, the Blazing Strike. Still not enough for the kill. Empath is inside, and he's turning it around. That's what Predator can do with that Carnivorous. In goes a Venomous Sleep. Down goes Pebbles, and now Pyromancer and Magma's both going to be on the run. Phoenix Wave trying to maybe finish off Keeper. Oh, the stun just misses Keeper. They will get the kill on a Bubbles. Can they take out Predator too? No, they cannot.
Just down, but it'll be back up again as soon as Empath have it. She has another one up in 5, 4. They don't want to risk it, though. Magnus is no stun, no stun. Nope. Are they going to make it?
No, he's going to get away. How about that, though? A big turnaround there. A necessary turnaround for Team USA.
Yeah.
To have a chance of at least staying in this game already.
They got it, but you look at the graphs, and they don't really spell a complete turnaround there.
Yeah.
Still, you're seeing some items begin to be picked up. Elder Parasite, sure, and Alchemist Bone should hopefully close the gap as the game goes on, but you can't really say. Moon Queen, I like the Energizer pickup. Obviously put it to good use in these early fights. They have everything they need to close this game out still. They have a Tempest almost with Shrunken Head. They've got the Magmus. Fuzi has been playing out of his mind this game, I think. He has been playing Magmus almost, I wouldn't say almost near perfection. I feel like it's to perfection.
Yeah.
They're all maybe missing that stun a little bit there in the previous fight. I forget, who was he trying to kill again? Where it looked like there was one target that was really low and he winded up stunning someone else.
Keeper, he almost killed Keeper.
Yeah, and
the stun, but
so Keeper's ulti was down anyway, yeah. So Bubbles was eventually brought down, and a great game so far. Really impressed with how IG's playing, though.
Let's actually take a look back at that fight, since we do have a little bit of a window here again. See how it exactly broke down. So there's the root. You see Moon Queen. She's going to use the Moon Finale here, eventually try to help things around. And again, the back-to-back fights now were Tempest. If he had mana for that Tempest ultimate, it could have been a big difference. The first fight didn't really matter in the end, but this fight, it definitely did. He ends up getting taken out.
Sadie, though, doesn't matter, have 10k gold advantage. So.
Oh, back to this game. Actually, the live game, though. There was a kill that happened on the bottom lane. Meanwhile, Magnus being caught up by Predator and Bubbles. Magnus trying to use a juke here. He is going to fall, though, in the end. That is the first death of the game happening to Fuzi, so apologize right there. But there was also a kill on a Fade at the bottom who just simply got caught with a portal key.
Burst it down, and there's no tower from the push down, so not a big deal there. Favorable trade overall a little bit for Team USA. Still sucks to lose one on either side. Still holding down this Magmus, who's been absolutely insane. A great thing. Tablet of Command going to be picked up by Magmus when he revives, though. Maybe going to assist him with those extra stats and pushing back from some of these gank attempts as well.
Yeah.
Keeper of the Forest, we've seen Riser, maybe Rust of Restoration Stone in a lot of these games, and now that he is that Astrolabe and our producer keeps eating chips in our ear for some reason to make it difficult to focus. It's, you know, moving forward. Pyromancer. Pyromancer, what did you just ward? He went up. I saw he was moving up.
Put a rev down here.
Put a rev down. Is that it?
Yeah. I think so.
What about this bottom lane? He actually got that ward down to the lane as well. So once the lane gets pushed out, it can open up, carry a lot of safe farm. So not that Moon Queen really sticks around too much. He's more of a, I'm going to push this lane out in approximately 1/10 of a second and then move on to the jungle. Let's see how she does here.
Yeah.
Let's see. 0.05 seconds, 0.1 second, yep, done. So.
And fall back. Yeah, Xavier looking really good here for his team. Predator finishing a brutal, or looking to finish a brutalizer at least. You get that quick blade purchase, so brutalizer is going to be the making for him.
It's a lineup where you wouldn't even actually. I know it sounds crazy, but even a shrunken head sometimes on top of that stone. It's a lineup where you could even see that coming out. But yeah, brutalizer definitely allows Predator to have a huge impact and rushing it right after his Elder Parasite. A lot of times it's a matter of blocking the enemy down and getting in those few extra hits. And meanwhile,
oh, Tempest in some trouble. He does have an Elemental Void. He may want to try to use it right here. Nice wall up from Empath, though, coming out. And it will be taken on Magnus. The stun is just a little bit too late right there. The Stone Eye might have prevented that in the process. Magnus now, he's also going to be caught. Look at the auto attack. So much damage.
Are you kidding me?
Empath inside with the Elder Parasite activated. Absolutely ludicrous, man.
Yeah, it is. That's the damage. You have to look at something like in Santaris. Now you look at the extra attack speed, the Elder Parasite, the damage already coming out from the Empath, the Brutalizer now on top of it, which it's an item that I mentioned before, but ever since it's buff, I'm glad we're seeing it use. It's a fun item to see, very aggressive item too, so good to see. And Moon Queen, level 16 though, and even though they got those ganks, the Golden Experience is still pretty much around a similar gap.
Yeah.
Going for the tower push now to have something to say about it, but they're not really carrying. They're still farming the rest of the map. Moon Queen even taking the enemy Ancients.
CM vulnerability is going to be used, but as you're saying, I mean, no port's going to be had, so this is going to be a free tower kill for Team USA in the end.
If anything,
gladly take
okay,
it.
Using that vault really to stall the push while they farm the map. Bottom and mid now, push all the way out. It's time for Team USA to pick up on some farm here. Allow Fade to hit level 11, hopefully in one of the lanes as well, since it's she needs it. Level 11 is a big level for Fade.
Yeah, of course. Always like to stress that, so we'll see if B-Kid gets that opportunity here in the very near future or not. 21.5 minutes in. Still very early on, honestly, but, man, talk about a very solid attempt at a comeback here. So what was looking like to be a very strong start for Internet Gangsters, and it still is. I mean, you just talked about the Golden Experience lead.
Playing it very well.
Yeah. They most certainly even are in the lead still. But both teams definitely giving it their all here and making this a very entertaining match to watch, of course. But you mentioned level 16 Moon Queen. Getting ever so close now to finishing that Geometer Spain here.
God, I mean, looking at how the games are playing out, you almost don't feel the advantage that IG has. I mean, in the recent fights at least. And you look at the levels, and like that's actually a 7,000. Because you just see so many people that are in the double digits there, and you see the level 9 outside. If you just take a brief glance, you actually wouldn't expect to be such a
one-sided sense of Golden Experience. Yeah. But I tell you, I mean, this Predator, though, especially with this build, and again, Empath being inside, it just dominates, man. It really does. When he gets on that target, starts putting in those right clicks with Empath inside and how fast he attacks, his opponents are dropping very quickly.
So they're looking at the bubbles to initiate, ultimately set it up for Predators. They don't have to burn the Keeper ulti right away and hopefully can use it as a response to the Tempest. That's their strategy. Meanwhile, on the Legion side, ideally, they can just catch the Tempest in an Elemental Void. I mean, the Keeper in the Elemental Void before it's actually done. Bubbles Ultimate isn't something that Tempest cares about at all, and if he's able to get it off onto something like a Predator, will waste the duration of the Stone Hide, and we've seen the burst. They have that Magnus ulti, they have the Pyro ulti, they have the Moon Queen going off. If they can take care of it and lock him down in the initial part of that fight, sort of make them use their ultimates in a weird or awkward timing, that's when they could really, really thrive here.
Yeah. Well, it looks like Story Fighter playing the Pebbles in this game is just having some lag issues, so trying to get that figured out before we progress on in this game. As far as the other game is concerned, I believe it was VDT versus Locomotives. Looks like VDT's in the lead in this one. We're about 23 minutes in. We're in the Silhouette carry again, or a Silhouette carry. We saw that earlier on. This time VDT running it themselves. I believe that was actually on Xibbe earlier on IG, actually, in that matchup, so losing effort. But, again, it looks like VDT in the lead of this one. We'll keep an eye on that, though, see how that progresses. As far as the results there are concerned, VDT 1-0, I believe. Locomotives 0-1. And then you also talked about, from Group A, how obviously some rescheduled matches are happening. And looking at this one, Too Much Sugar versus Justice League are playing currently. And actually, pretty solid match here, 42 minutes in, 42.5 minutes. Seems like Too Much Sugar has a lead, but you got a Predator level 21. It seems like he might be having a good time.
I mean, they had the lead earlier on, too. Really, it's actually looking, they have the lead. Is it dominating, or does it look fairly close?
I wouldn't say dominating. It's a lead, though. It is actually.
They've got that gauntlet being played by Slicks in that game. That's kind of fun. Rich level 22, they I'm guessing he has some sort of disabling item, whether it's a sheep or a hellflower to help deal with this predator. Still, can't really ever count out a predator team as we're seeing here. Huh. Gonna be keeping my third eye on that.
Yeah, so we'll see how that one plays out. And again, after today, ideally we'll have results from both groups finished. And we'll know the top 3 teams from either group that are moving on, as well as the matchups to be had starting tomorrow. If you're first place in your group, you actually get a bye in that first round.
Yeah.
And the second and third place teams from either group, they'll face off. Second from Group A will face off against third from Group B, and vice versa. So that's how the bracket stage looks. Again, the HoNcast.com, their first article there, it actually has all the information as far as the event and everything else. So you can check out there if you are curious again to see how the format does continue. And again, that takes place tomorrow, all the way to the finals, where the finals are then played on Friday. To finish things off here, the HoN Invitational, sponsored by the HoNcast subscribers, $500 prize pool. And actually, something else I forgot to mention, I don't know if it is 100% official, but there was word that Beef brought up. Apparently, a community member donated also an extra $100. That's actually, hold that thought. Fuzi jumping Fade here at the bottom lane. I don't think it's going to be enough for the kill in the end. And actually, Fade will make his getaway here. But the community member donated another $100 to actually give to an MVP of this tournament, a specific player. So whoever is deemed the MVP of the tournament, most valuable player, will actually get an extra $100 apparently.
Interesting.
So I'll definitely confirm that here later on from Beef. But
no, I mean, it is, he's gotten the money from me. It's confirmed. As far
is
as
it? Okay.
Yeah,
I want to get the name then to give shout-outs, of course.
Probably find it if you give me a sec, too.
See right here, though, back to this game. Shrunken Heads being finished. You already got one on the Tsania. Playing the Tempest. Zibe on Moon Queen also finishing her, so not going the Geometer Spain first. Going straight into the Shrunken Head definitely makes sense. We'll see.
Yefimovic.
Yefimovic?
Yep.
Yefimovic. There you go, Yefimovic, I guess, donating $100.
Honestly,
MVP,
it's
yeah, big deal.
Great thing.
Again, just more support towards the competitive scene. And if you do feel like you want to help support the competitive scene, again, this is what we hope to be the first of several of these that we do. Sponsored by the HoNcast subscribers, so you can definitely subscribe yourself. It's $4.99 a month, and on top of just helping support, you also get a lot of benefits from the emoticons in the chat, subscriber-only chats, subscriber-only giveaways, which we do actually quite a bit of those. And you figure, giveaways compared to the amount of when it's open to everyone compared to the lot fewer subscribers only, it's definitely chances definitely rise. And on top of that, the great being able to request songs and troll Panman, our producer, when it comes to that. So amongst even much more. So up to you. And obviously, if you don't in the end, still not a big deal. And we definitely love you guys anyways. But if you feel like assisting and getting some of those benefits, feel free to do so. All right, moving along in this game, though. Hellflower just finished by Pebbles. A lot of items are coming together here.
I like that Pebbles went Hellflower instead of Shrunken Head this game because they need to be able to do something about this Pred when they initiate. And without initiation on like that, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
More of a selfless pickup, but I feel like it's appropriate for the game.
Look at this. Portal key. Oh, Magnus trying to be like, oh, what a big leap! He leaps freaking over the hills! But Magnus is going to tablet over the edge.
Like, not only do I have a stun now.
Oh, my gosh.
I've got my trusty tablet.
That leap was hilarious. A high jump champion here.
It's wild.
Jumped over his own empath wall, which isn't even necessary.
The brutalizer makes empath. Yeah, it makes that empath predator combination a lot more effective too. Not only because a lot of times when you leap, say the Moon Queen activates Shrunken Head at that point, or the Tempest shrugs off the slow and tries to cut you away. Now, when you're chasing with that empath, you're gonna be brutalized. That just helps you keep track of them too.
Yeah.
I like it.
Look at this.
Yeah, I see that for double damage, Moon Queen. But tearing it apart, so give an extra lifeline to Moon Queen. I think the vital targets of winning the fight are still elsewhere instead of bursting down the Moon Queen, but still gives her that insurance that she can get a huge ultimate off.
So in the meantime, Predator falling back from the top lane, 3,200 more gold on him, so definitely eyeing towards what item he's going to be going for next.
Level 2 empath ulti.
Yep. That too, yeah.
Void Talisman. Excellent pickup by Insania there. Help deal with his pride. He knows that he's getting pretty insane. Needs to be able to cut him out as long as possible. Where the Shrunken Head might not prevail, the Void Talisman will. Of course, you cannot use them at the same time, so he's going to have to be very cautious as to his timing.
That'd be pretty ridiculous. A Shrunken and a Void at the same time.
Yeah, I'd be
immune
upset
to everything.
Shrunken Head Void is balanced.
But
Teacher.
yeah, does it for one after the other. Another 2,000 gold on Fuzi, actually. I mean, you mentioned earlier Fuzi's had a hell of a game. No doubt continuing to do so here. And another 2,000 gold saved up. I think I also just saw Geometers being finished on Moon Queen. Yep, there's a Blessed Orb in the pattern. So another big item for her on top of that Token of Life she just got. 540 remaining on that still. Pebble's trying to find a friend in the jungle that he wants to just smash into the ground.
Doesn't sound like a friend to me. Is that
more of an enemy?
I don't want to be your friend.
Just wants to say hi. And, well, he's going to find one here in Bubbles, but Bubbles does not want to be friends.
Bubbles is lonely. It's hard being a rock golem.
Just wants a hug. Empath was near death, but she just skirted away. Soul's Bulwark on Predator, yeah. 2,300 more gold saved up, so hell, it finishes a demonic. I mean, just continuing that attack speed, man.
Yeah, I've noticed Trelf especially. I mean, I think when we saw him playing it during DreamHack 2, just didn't really go for damage ever. He just kept building for attack speed, building for attack speed. And when you have an Empath already giving you steroided damage, and you have Carnivorous, but now the Brutalizer on top of it, adding 30 additional damage and damage every single time you brutalize them, an extra 35, it makes sense.
So does it get to a point where it seems like it's overkill, though? I mean,
for Predator, it's iffy because there are diminishing returns eventually on attack speed, but not as much because he does have a damage boost in other areas, and he can just tear apart the sport so quickly. And the faster you attack, you build up your ultimate sooner. There is a point where, yeah, you're going to build the damage item next. After the demonic breastplate, it's time to start looking at.
Don't expect to see a Thunderclaw after the demonic.
I mean, Thunder would give him damage that works with his attack speed, but he's better off going a raw damage item just or go for that focus.
Definitely, you could see like a Behemoth's Heart on him after that, especially.
Behemoth's Heart or raw damage, just depending on his ideal path.
Fade finding Moon Queen, but without support, can't really do much. Keeper was kind of nearby, but it's still the same concept.
Remember, Elder Parasite doesn't count as an orb at all, so you can actually use something like a Shield Breaker even.
True.
Those
are Rift Shards. Oh, Pebble's going to jump right here. Here comes Pebble's a follow, putting in those auto attacks. You see the magic or the stone hide, and look at that. Destroy Footer just couldn't even move. The Brutalizer proccing. And that's a pretty bulky Pebbles at this point. I mean,
he doesn't have any.
I guess he doesn't really have a Shrunken or anything.
Yeah. So not as bulky as sometimes that we see. Meanwhile, though, Golden Experience is still climbing for the Legion side. It seems like every time we even see the Hellborn pick something up, when we go look at the stats again, they're like 3,000 more in the hold than they were before. So that's the exact what I mean. Their kills haven't really climbed for a bit there. It's been 17 for a while. But that's why I call it tactical aggression, where you apply the pressure, you apply the aggression, you keep up the aggressive game. You're not necessarily getting hero kills because they might be avoiding it, but you're making them pay if you're not getting the hero kills.
Yeah. See, Predator actually going around right here is going to find some illusions, though. We'll actually try to get the kills. And illusions, yeah. That demonic, it's going to be very, very close now to being finished.
Does he not have the gold? Fight. I thought he does. He does.
Yeah, he does have it now. Okay, so obviously buyback 2 at this point. Might be concerned about that. He only has the 1 buyback too, which is important to note. Did use that one earlier, which actually didn't result in a whole lot, unfortunately. Key obviously on Fade, so you know we've talked about this before, but Beacon really just seems like he does his job in the end. I mean, he obviously has his flashy times, but something you can guarantee is that he'll just do his job. Yeah.
He got it around 27 minute marks, so since not picking him extra gold, not being not necessarily so the power supply, but doesn't need it yet.
See right there, leaping on a Moon Queen, then quickly falling back with that Token Alive, making a decision difficult here. The double damage on top of that for Moon Queen is also very scary. So be very careful with that. But obviously this is a good timing for Internet Gangsters to be pushing here in the middle lane. capitalize the lead that they do have. Their more armor applied. Still no demonic. He has the gold for it, as you mentioned, but also wants that buyback. Actually, using the Alchemist Balls, and he's going to be jumped. Look at that freaking burst damage. Predator just melts. Faye going to go down as well. Predator absolutely has a buyback. Magnus on the background on Empath. She might die right here. And actually, that could be big, although no. And I say with that wall coming at me, meanwhile, the Predator leaps back in. And here we go. Going to go right for Pebbles, locking him down. But there's a Storm Spear putting him up in the air. Predator still trying to find a chance. Doesn't have that Stone Hide. And Predator will fall once again. He does not have any more buybacks. Stalagmite's going out. Pebbles does go down. There's the Tabas Ultimate. Pulls in Keeper. Empath's going to fall. Double tap. Makes it a hat trick for Xibby. And that might be it. No more buybacks on Predator. Yeah, Fade still hanging out. Going to go for an attempt right here with Bubbles. Not even going to be able to accomplish, though. Riser, he's already called GG's. We'll see if the team agrees in the end.
Yeah, it was just excellent initiation coming out. They picked off the what was the Bubbles and the Predator right at the start.
Yeah,
forced the buyback. Didn't actually get to pick up the demonic as a result of not having enough gold. Died with having 2,800 gold on point there, and the Storm Spirit, you know, saving his ally. It just great play in the end. So unfortunately, we did say there were some big plays coming out, but their golden experience, they kept doing that tactical aggression, expanding their lead in the end. Became so overwhelming they weren't able to do anything about it. They just had too many utility items at their disposal to help handle the Predator.
Yeah, Predator was damn impressive when he was getting those hits off, man, especially with Empath inside. He was doing some good damage, but obviously
can't be a one-man army.
Exactly, can't be a one-man army. And also, if he's not able to get that stone head off initially, as we saw there with that lockdown, man, I mean, he just got bursted himself.
Very quickly.
Very quickly. And again, he chose not to go the demonic before that. Obviously, that would have meant he wouldn't have bad buyback, so it definitely is a toss-up there. And even with the demonic, he still might have died anyway. So, very well fought, though, from Internet Gangsters. Deserving. And now that sets us up where both IG and Team USA are actually 2-1 here in the group stages. So, obviously, both of them only have one more match remaining, and to clarify on who that is against real quickly, Team USA, they actually play VDT next, which is the match that we're going to be covering as well here on HoNcast, so that should be another really good one. VDT is still playing, I believe, I want to say.
Yeah.
They look like they are still in their game, actually.
Yeah. And then we're actually going to follow that up with another VDT cast. It's going to be BRB 3-min versus VDT.
To finish things off ultimately,
a solid game.
So quite the schedule to finish things off here, but again, it's definitely shaping up to be